हरे कृष्णा। तुम्हारा इंग्लिश में बोलेंगे। अब कितने लोगों को কতজনের বাংলা অথবা হিন্দি ट्रांसलेशन दरकार? কতজন कितने लोगों को ट्रांसलेशन चाहिए? केरला ट्रांसलेशन एक जन और कोई दो जन और कोई ओके सब इंग्लिश बोलेंगे। सबको इंग्लिश समझ में आता है? हरे कृष्णा। जिनको ट्रांसलेशन चाहिए तो पीछे बैठ सकते हैं वहां पर, तो एक डिवोटी ट्रांसलेट करेंगे। जिनको हिंदी या ट्रांसलेशन चाहिए हमारे इंग्लिश में बोलेंगे तो ज्यादा हम लोग सुन पाएंगे। आशा करते हैं सबको समझ में आ रहा है इंग्लिश। हरे कृष्णा।
दया कर मोरे तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारी तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारी पतिता पावन हेतु तव अवतारा पतिता पावन हेतु तव अवतारा मोसमो पतिता प्रभु न पाए बेआरा मोसमो पतिता प्रभु न पाए बेआरा हा हा प्रभु नित्यानंदा प्रेमानंद सुखी हा हा प्रभु नित्यानंदा Premananda Sukhi Kripa Bolo Kanakoro Ami Bharadukhi Kripa Bolo Kanakoro Ami Bharadukhi Daya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosai Daya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Bhole Pai Chaitanya Nitai Tava Kripa Bhole Pai Chaitanya Nitai Ha ha Swarup Sanatan Rupa Raghunath Ha ha Swarup Sanatan Rupa Raghunath Bhata Yoga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Bhata Yoga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Daya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Daya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Sangamagye Naratamadas Ramachandra Sangamage Naratamadas Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dayakara Mohori Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dayakara Mohori Toma Bhina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsari Toma Bhina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda. So on this auspicious day, we're blessed with the opportunity to speak some of the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So Sri Nityananda's pastimes began in Ekachakra Dham. Lord Nityananda appeared as the son of Harai Ojja. Mother's name was Padmavati. So his father was a Brahmin. Mother was not from Brahmana family, but it was arranged like that. She was a saintly lady. So Harayoja, he was worshipping Shiva there every morning, going to the different temples, doing puja. And then they were blessed with the son, Nitai. And Lord Nityananda, as he became known, initially is Nitai. Nitai he grew up in the village of Ekachakra. At that time, Ekachakra was a very opulent place. It was very blessed with all kinds of opulence. Today it's a little bit, simple, frugal. But in the time of Lord Nityananda, all the opulences were there, because Lord Nityananda is none different from Lord Balaram, and they're both the personality of Godhead. Lord Nityananda is the expansion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just as Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna are not different, they have both have the same opulences. The same way, Lord Gauranga and Nityananda, they also are not different. And Lord Nityananda, with his birth there in Ekachakra, Ekachakra was very, very opulent, full of everything. The people were living very nicely, many cows, and the fields there growing nicely, a lot of rice and all different kinds of vegetables and fruit. So the people were very happy, and Lord Nityananda, Nitai, grew up there in the village, and from his childhood he became the leader of all the boys in the village. We will see in the course of the pastimes of Lord Nityananda how he is the spiritual master. Lord Balaram is the Adi Guru, the original spiritual master. And similarly, Lord Nityananda, he is also Guru, the spirit. He's the Adi Guru. He's the spiritual master. So, as a young boy, Nitai was the leader of the village, and he would organize all the boys together to reenact not cricket, not a test match, but they would reenact all the leelas of the Lord's incarnations. Nitai would organize the boys in so many nice ways to perform wonderful leelas of the Lord. And the people in the village were watching, and they were astonished. They said, how does he know about this? We don't even know about this. But Nitai knows everything. And he organized the boys in the village in this way. They have wonderful times reenacting all the Lord's different leelas. So one day it happened when they were doing Ram Leela. Lord Nityananda was playing the part of Lakshman, and he told the boys, you know, keep acting, don't stop, keep the drama going. No matter what happens, just keep the drama going. So they were doing the Ram Leela, and at one point Indrajit threw his weapon into the chest of Lakshman and knocked Lakshman unconscious. So one of the boys in Ekachakra, a young boy in Ekachakra, was playing the part of Indrajit, and he came with a lotus flower and threw it into the chest of Nitai and said, now you are dead. And Lord Nityananda fell down unconscious. So all the other boys were shocked. They all came running and said, oh, what's wrong with Nitai? What's wrong with Nitai? Oh, he's not moving. Oh, what's wrong with him? And the people, the elders in the village all came, and they were all, oh no, what's wrong with Nitai? What have you done? I hit him with a lotus flower. What? You hit him with a lotus flower? You put him, he's unconscious. And anyway, they thought about it. They said, well, Lord Nitai told us, keep going, keep the drama going. So, next part was to send Hanuman to bring some herbs from Gangamadana mountain. So the boy who was playing Hanuman, he rose up, flew off, and came back with the mountain. And then they got some of the magic herbs, and mixed them together, and put them in front of the nostrils of Nitai. And Nitai's, we saw his eyes open, he came back to life. So all the boys were relieved. Not all the boys, everybody in the village was relieved to see that he was safe. There's no problem for him. So Lord Nityananda, Nitai, as I said, he was the center of all activities in the village. And his mother and father were so attached to him. You know, Bengali mothers, you know, very affectionate, right? Bengali mothers, very affectionate, especially to their son, right? So anyway, Nitai's growing up, and he saw how he could not move without his mother and father. They wanted to see him all day, every day, wherever he went. They wanted to be with him, to watch him. They wouldn't let him leave their sight. So Nitai thought, have to do something about this. This is not very good. They're so attached, you know. It's not good. So it happened that a sannyasi came visiting Ekachakra. And Harai Oja saw the sannyasi, and he invited him to his home. That you can please come to my home. My wife is a wonderful cook. She will prepare some nice sak for you, some nice vegetables. Please come, take some prasad in our home. We will feel blessed to have you there. So the sannyasi agreed, and he came to their home. And Harai Oja, in the course of serving him, he said to the sannyasi, he said, if there's anything you want, just tell me what I can, any service you may have for me. Please let me know how I can serve you, and it will be my pleasure to arrange it for you. So the sannyasi said, all right, just before I go, I'll think what you can do for me. So sannyasi enjoyed the meal there, and Hari Oja served him nicely, then massaged him and let him rest for some time. Then the sannyasi said, I have to go now. He said, but before I go, you said you wanted to do some service for me? And Harayoja said, yes, it will be my pleasure. Whatever I can do for you, it will be my great delight to do something for you. So then the sannyasi said, you know, I'm going to visit holy places. I'm traveling all over Bharatvarsh, and I'm alone. I need somebody to come to accompany me. I need someone should be with me when I'm traveling. Need somebody to answer the handphone when it goes off, yeah? So Hari Oja said, yes, anything, what can I do for you? So the sannyasi said, your son, he looks like a nice boy. I think it will be very nice for him. If he can come with me, I will take him to visit all the holy places, and he can bathe in all the holy rivers, and he can meet many saintly persons in the course of his travels. Please allow me to take your son with me. And of course, that was Hari Oja never thought that could happen. The thought of losing their son. But anyway, he understood that he told the sannyasi like that. So he spoke to his wife, Padmavati, and he said to her, he wants to take Nitai with him. He wants to take him away from us. So wife tells her husband, well, whatever you decide, whatever you decide, I will accept. If this is what you decide, what can I do? So Hari Oja, with great difficulty, they agreed that Nitai could go away with the sannyasi. And so he left home. He was a young boy, teenager, and he left home to go with that sannyasi. And everybody in the village, Ekachakra, they were all broken-hearted. They had lost that person who was the most dear person to them. And with Nitai gone from Ekachakra, Ekachakra was never quite the same. Although Lord Nityananda is there in the unmanifested form. So anyway, Lord Nityananda goes off with the sannyasi and he's traveling with him. It's very happy for Nitai to go and visit these holy places because Brajendra Nandana se Sachi Sutta Haila he Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Right. So Lord Balaram had gone to visit all the holy places. When the Kurukshetra war was taking place, at that time, Lord Balaram said, I'm not going to take part. I'm not going to take sides. You're both my friends. I'm not going to take part. And instead, Lord Balaram said, I will go and visit the holy places. So at that time, Lord Balaram went to places like Naimisharanya, and at that time he killed Romaharshan. And he went on to visit many holy places, and then came back after the Kurukshetra war. So Lord Balaram had visited all the holy places, and so Lord Nitai, he wants to go again and see all the holy places, right? Once you've been to Mayapur one time, you know, you want to go again, especially after a long time. You want to see Mayapur again. You haven't seen it for a long time. Or maybe Vrindavan. You want to see the holy Dham. So Lord Nityananda, Nitai, is traveling with the sannyasi, traveling for a long time. For some years they were traveling together. And at one point they came to Vrindavan. And when they're in Vrindavan, Nitai was asking everyone, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? He said, I don't see Krishna anywhere here. And the people in Vrindavan told him, Krishna has now appeared in Mayapur. You want to see Krishna, you have to go to Mayapur. Are you coming to Mayapur? I hope. We want you all to come to Mayapur, right? So, you're not very... Anyway, Nitai heard Lord Krishna's in Mayapur. So, he came to Mayapur. Ekachakra is in a place called Radhadesh. Many of you probably not been to Ekachakra. It's just a village, but it's the Ekachakra Dham. It's a holy Dham. The Lord resides there. And it's in the area called Radhadesh. Radhadesh means the place where the Ganga does not flow. There's no Ganga there. How can it be a holy place? A holy place is where the Ganga flows, right? There's no Ganga there. So can it be a holy place? Yes, because holy place is wherever the Pandavas stayed. And the Pandavas had come there to Ekachakra. They'd stayed in Ekachakra. So it's a holy place. Lord Nityananda, Nitai, comes back to Mayapur. At that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling the devotees he had had a dream. And he told them, he said, I had a dream. He said, I dreamt that in a few days there's a very wonderful, very munificent personality coming here to Mayapur. And it will be our good fortune to associate with him. He will come into our association. So Lord Chaitanya had told all the devotees in Mayapur that this man is coming, a very special personality, a very divine person is coming to be with us here in the holy land of Mayapur. So after a few days, Lord Chaitanya told the devotees, I know that today that personality is now here in Mayapur. I want you to go and find him. And Lord Chaitanya sent devotees like Ramai Pandit, who's the brother of Srivas Pandit, and Haridas. He said, I want you to go and find this personality. You will know him immediately when you see him. He's very tall, very effulgent, very powerful. So they went and they spent the whole day. They went everywhere. They went to every home. They went in every alley. They knocked on every door. They could not find this personality anywhere. Lord Nityananda is a very special personality. It is not easy to find Lord Nityananda. Anyway, they came back and they told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we went everywhere. We could not find him. We don't see anyone who fits this description. So Lord Chaitanya smiled. He said, yes, this is the nature of this personality. He is a very mysterious soul. And Lord Chaitanya got up and they went in Sankirtan, and Lord Chaitanya led them to the home of Nandanacharya. Right? This home, the place where Lord Chaitanya met with Lord Nityananda, it's the next door to our ISKCON temple. As you come along the road, as you're coming into Mayapur from Kolkata, you come along the road, going towards the Ghat, you come to the ISKCON temple and keep going, then the next temple on the same side of the road, that is Nandanacharya's place where Nandanacharya's home was. And it was there that Lord Chaitanya met with Lord Nityananda. And the two souls, when they meet each other, Nitai, Nimai, the two of them, they embrace each other in ecstasy. So Lord Chaitanya wanted to reveal the transcendental position of Lord Nityananda to all the other devotees, because he's a new person, he's coming in their midst, and they didn't know who he was. So Lord Nityananda requested one of the devotees to recite some verses from the scriptures. So Srivas Pandit, or maybe it was Mukunda, he began to recite beautiful verses, and when Lord Nityananda heard the verses, then the bhava, the ecstatic love for Krishna within him awakened, and he fell from his seat and rolled on the ground in great ecstasy. So when they saw his transformation of love, then they understood his divine position, that he is really a great soul. Just like Gadadhar had similar experience with the Pundarik Vijayanidhi. Yeah, Pundarik Vijayanidhi had come to visit Mayapur. And Pundarik Vijayanidhi is very opulent. He's a landowner. He had a lot of wealth. And he's really an aristocratic gentleman. You know, many rings on his fingers and jewelry and ornaments. And he was sitting on the big seat being fanned. And when he heard Mukunda sing so beautiful slokas, he fell on the ground and rolled in ecstasy, shedding tears. So in the same way, Lord Nityananda, when he heard the devotees reciting verses from Bhagavatam, it overwhelmed him, and he fell on the ground and rolled on the floor. All the devotees were very impressed to see this wonderful personality coming to their association. So Lord Nityananda, he had already been initiated. Some people say he was initiated by Madhavendra Puri, and some other people say by Lakshmi Pati Tirtha. Not very clear, but he was already initiated. So he's very senior, and they all have great respect for Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda generally would spend time in the home of Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit's wife was like his mother, and she would take care of him like her child. And they would enjoy. Lord Chaitanya, of course, had many pastimes in the home of Srivas. Just like Lord Krishna took birth in Mathura, but immediately after his birth, he came to Gokul. And his pastimes were in Gokul and Vrindavan. So similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared at the Yoga Pith, but his pastimes were more at the home of Srivas Pandit. And Lord Chaitanya arranged every night to have the nocturnal kirtans there. Lord Chaitanya decided why we should spend so much time sleeping. Let us just have kirtan all night. And they would meet together every night and have wonderful kirtan. So Lord Nityananda, he was a regular resident there in the home of Srivas Pandit. But Lord Nityananda, he's avadut. His behavior is unusual. Sometimes, sometimes it shocks respectable people. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to test the devotion of Srivas Pandit. So one day he said to Srivas, he said, Srivas, you're the head of the Brahmin community there in Mayapur. How can you allow this person, Nityananda, to live in your home? Why do you accept him and give him shelter like that? Why don't you just get rid of him, we don't know who he is. We don't know his origin. Why? He's going to get you a bad name. He's going to disgrace you. Why don't you just tell him to go? And Srivas Pandit looked at Lord Chaitanya and said, "Oh my Lord, you are just testing me. You know I can never give up the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Never, ever can I ever give up. Even if Lord Nityananda will marry a Muslim girl, even if if I see him coming from a wine shop, I will never give up his lotus feet." And when Lord Chaitanya heard Srivas speak like this, he was so happy. He was so pleased. He said, "Because you have so much faith in the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda," he said, "I bless you that even if the goddess of fortune has to go begging, that your home will never know any poverty." That's a nice blessing to have, isn't it? Yeah. That even if the goddess of fortune has to go begging, your home will not have any poverty. Now, Srivas was a Brahmana, and several brothers, he had several brothers were there. They were all living together. None of them worked. None of them went to factory. None of them had office jobs. They were Brahmanas, and they lived by Brahminical duties. One time they asked Srivas, "What will you do if you don't have any food?" He said, "I will clap my hands 3 times." And he said, "If nothing is there, I'll throw myself in the Ganga." But every day, food is there. I don't have any problem. By the grace of the Lord, everything is provided. So Lord Nityananda was enjoying pastimes there in the home of Srivas Pandit. And one of the events which would take place every year, of course, the devotees would like to go to Jagannath Puri. They would enjoy traveling together. They would walk from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri. Takes about 2 weeks. So Lord Nityananda, he would like to go also, and he would go with the devotees. Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas. He'd gone off to live in Jagannath Puri, and the devotees all wanted to go there and see Lord Chaitanya as a sannyasi and to take part in the Rath Yatra every year in Puri. So Lord Nityananda would travel with all the devotees, and Shivananda Sen would be in charge of the party. Shivananda Sen would lead everyone. He was the leader. He would take care of all the different matters, like sometimes they had to cross borders, sometimes they had to cross rivers. You know, just like today, even today, you know, you have things like immigration, you have passports, and, you know, things. Sometimes they will ask, you know, where's your ID card? Even if you're a native Indian, you're traveling, you have to have some ID card. So they were traveling, they were all, whole party together, men and women and children also. They would all go by walk to Jagannath Puri. And they have to cross sometimes the rivers, sometimes we know Shivananda Sen, sometimes he'd even take dogs with him. If the dog was attached to the devotees, he would bring the dog with them. Anyway, at one point, one day, they were crossing a border and they got held up. Shivananda Sen got delayed with the customs, coming through the customs. And the devotees, including Lord Nityananda, were all waiting. And it was the daytime, so the sun was hot. And the devotees were just out there in the hot sun. And there was no place for them to reside, for them to rest. And they had not taken their prasadam. So they were all there waiting, and Shivananda Sen was dealing with these customs people. There was some problem somehow. We're not told exactly what the problem was, but you know, sometimes it happens like that. They got delayed, and they were waiting and waiting for Shivananda Sen. And while they were waiting, Lord Nityananda was becoming impatient. I said, where is he? What's going on? Why is taking so long? And so the devotees were, well, he will come soon, my Lord. He will come soon. We have to be patient. We have to wait. And Lord Nityananda said, at one point, Lord Nityananda said, I curse his son to die. He's got me standing out here in the hot sun, no shelter, no prasadam. He's not made any arrangement to take care of us. I curse his son, Shivananda Sen's son, to die. And when Lord Nityananda cursed like that, then the wife of Shivananda Sen began to cry. Oh, my son will die. Oh. And she was crying, and she was crying, and then Shivananda Sen came back. And when Shivananda Sen came back, he saw his wife crying. He said, what's wrong? And she said, Lord Nityananda has cursed our son to die. So Shivananda Sen said, if Lord Nityananda wants our son to die, let him die. Why are you crying, you stupid woman? Right? This is the mood of Lord Nityananda and the mood of the devotees. How the devotees, how they interact together like this, you see. And Lord Nityananda, seeing Shivananda saying return, he kicked him. He lifted his foot, kicked him. What would you do? Somebody kicks you. Yeah? You know, I mean, I was on a train one time in India, you know, and somehow there was some fight somewhere and somebody, oh boy, it's terrible. Very dangerous to travel second class in India, you know. That was the last time I went second class. Big fight, you know, kicking each other. Anyway, Shivananda saying kicked someone. He kicked, Lord Nityananda kicked Shivananda Sain. And how did Shivananda Sain take it? He said, oh my Lord, I'm blessed with the dust from your lotus feet. That's so nice, huh? He said, I'm so fortunate that dust from your lotus feet is sanctifying my body. I'm so fortunate. So Shivananda Sain, he immediately then made arrangements for Lord Nityananda and all the devotees to have some shelter and to get their prasadam. So Lord Nityananda, seeing how Shivananda Sain was so tolerant and how he was, you know, not at all disturbed at all by his behavior, Lord Nityananda was very pleased with Shivananda Sain to see that he could be so tolerant. He didn't get disturbed at all by the situation. This is the behavior of Lord Nityananda. No, Lord Nityananda's devotees also are like that. Very wonderful. There's another interesting pastime which concerns Lord Nityananda. As we said, Lord Nityananda is a guru. You know, sometimes the guru, you know, Gaur Govinda Maharaj, when his Divine Grace, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj was in Bhubaneswar, he was giving classes regularly. He was slapping people's face, you know. Regularly it would happen, you know. He was very... He used to be a school teacher, you see. So they have that custom, right? In Indian schools, teachers will slap the face of a naughty child, you know. So Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he used to regularly do that. So Lord Nityananda, as the spiritual master of the world, he kicked Shivananda Sain. But Shivananda Sain so he feels blessed by that. It's a blessing to get the mercy of the Guru like that. And if the Guru will slap your face, it's a blessing that the Guru cares about me. He's correcting me. We should feel blessed. We shouldn't feel disturbed. Rather, we should feel it's a blessing. So another interesting pastime with Lord Nityananda concerns Krishnadas Kaviraj. Now, Krishnadas Kaviraj, he's the author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it happened that Krishnadas Kaviraj, his home is in Katwa, in that Katwa district, in a village near Katwa, near Naihati. Jabatpur, yes, right, that's right. And there's a town nearby, what's it, Nahati? Naihati, nearby, right? Nearby. Anyway, he knows the name of the village. It's in the district of Katwa, and Krishnadas Kaviraj was residing there with his brother. And Krishnadas Kaviraj describes how in his home they were always having Sankirtan. Day and night they would have kirtan. Right? Any of your homes are like that? Huh? No? What's going on? You're missing out. You should have kirtan in your home, day and night. Anyway, Krishna Das Kaviraj was living there with his brother, and day and night they were having kirtan. So it happened, they were visited by a great devotee, one of Lord Nityananda's followers. A follower of Lord Nityananda named Mini Ketana Ramdas. So Mini Ketana Ramdas was in the mood just like Lord Nityananda. He was like a cowherd boy. And he was dressed like a cowherd boy. And cowherd boys, they have a flute. And so Mini Ketana Ram had a flute. And when some people would come and offer obeisances to him, sometimes he would dive on their back, and sometimes he would hit them with his flute. He would do these different things. He was a very jovial person, and he was always in ecstasy of love of God. Tears were flowing from his eyes all the time. And people who just saw him, they would also cry, and tears would come from their eyes just by seeing Mini Ketana Ramdas. So this Mini Ketana Ramdas came to their home, but there was a little problem in the home. Problem was, there was a Brahmana there who was doing the puja, and the Brahmana and the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj, they were devoted to Lord Chaitanya, but they did not have much faith in Lord Nityananda. So when Mini Ketana Ramdas came there, and they saw, oh, here's one of these Nityananda followers people, you know, they could tell he's a cowherd boy, you know. He was all the bells on the ankles and, you know, everything like the cowherd boys, and playing the flute. So they did not respect him. And when Mini Ketana Ramdas saw how they were not very happy to see him, he said, this one, he said, he's the second Ramaharshan. He does not offer obeisances. Earlier, Ramaharshan Sutta had not respected Lord Balaram. When Lord Balaram came into Naimisharanya, everyone respected Lord Balaram. They all understood him to be the Supreme Lord. And many stood up and others bowed down, and they all offered some respect except for Ramaharshan Sutta. And that's why Lord Balaram then took a kusha grass and pierced the heart of Ramaharshan Sutta. So Mini Ketana Ramdas said, here is the second Ramaharshan. So they were having some kirtan, and after some time Mini Ketana Ramdas is leaving and he's giving blessings to everyone. But the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj, he was not very respectful. And Krishnadas Kaviraj chastised him. And he said, to have faith in Lord Chaitanya and not to have faith in Lord Nityananda is like the philosophy of half a hen. You know, the man has a hen, the front part is eating food, the back part is laying eggs. So cut off the front part. We'll just keep the back part. You know, of course, you cannot do that. So Krishnadas Kaviraj, he said, you have faith in Lord Chaitanya and you don't have faith in Lord Nityananda, he said, better to be an atheist and reject both of them rather than to be a hypocrite and say you accept Lord Chaitanya and not Lord Nityananda. You're just a hypocrite. Better you're an atheist. So at that time, Krishnadas Kaviraj's brother fell down. And then that night, Krishnadas Kaviraj was resting the very same night after that incident. Krishnadas Kaviraj was resting, and in his dream, Lord Nityananda appeared to him. And he could see Lord Nityananda, tall, very powerfully built, dark complexion, shoulder-length hair, dressed in silk clothes with a silk turban on his head, and his ornaments and a flower garland, nice tilak on his body, and his body's also got some sandalwood pulp on it. And Lord Nityananda's there with other people, his associates. Some are playing bugles and horns. Very wonderful vision. And Krishnadas Kaviraj saw Lord Nityananda, and he bowed at his feet, fell down and offered obeisances. And Lord Nityananda calls to him, get up, get up. And when Krishnadas gets up, then Lord Nityananda says to Krishnadas Kaviraj, he said, you leave this place, go to Vrindavan, there you will get all things. You will get everything there in Vrindavan. Don't stay here. So Krishnadas Kaviraj, after Lord Nityananda said that, then he disappeared with all of the associates. So Krishnadas Kaviraj was struck with wonder. He had never had any experience like that before, and he took it to be the instructions coming directly from Lord Nityananda. Although it came in a dream, he took it to be the divine instruction. And without waiting a moment, Krishnadas Kaviraj left home, because the morning had just come, it was just coming to daylight. Krishnadas Kaviraj did not wait to say goodbye to anyone. He immediately left the home. And he left the home and he went to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, he got the shelter of Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, and he got the association of Raghunath Das Goswami, and he could live there in Vrindavan and hear the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from all of these wonderful Goswamis who are directly associated with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Krishnadas Kaviraj was able to write the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj describes himself, he says, Jagai haite munishe papishta, purushera kita haite munishe lagista. He said, I am more sinful than Jagai and Madhai. And then he says, anyone who hears my name, they will lose their pious activities. Anyone who utters my name, they will become sinful. Only the magnanimous, merciful Lord Nityananda could ever deliver such a fallen person as myself. So Krishnadas Kaviraj glorifies Lord Nityananda in this way, the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is very kind to the very fallen souls. He's always thinking to deliver the very fallen souls. So it happened, while Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was still in Mayapur, one day he brought Lord Nityananda and Haridas to his room. And he told them, Suno suno Nityananda, suno Haridas, prati gari gari gya koroe bhiksha, bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, koro Krishna shiksha. So Lord Chaitanya personally asked Lord Nityananda and Haridas they should go to everyone and get them to chant the holy name. So when Lord Nityananda got that instruction, he immediately thought, we should go to Jagai and Madhai. They're the most fallen souls. You know, usually when we go out for preaching, we think, who are the most pious souls? You know, who are the most pious people? Who the fallen souls? Oh no. But Lord Nityananda, the mood of Lord Nityananda is to go to the most fallen souls. He went to Jagai and Madhai. They were so sinful. Krishnadas Kavira said, I am lower than a worm in stool. Anyone who, I'm more sinful than Jagai and Madhai. You know, he was not just saying it, he meant it. But of course it's not really true, but still in his heart he felt very fallen. So similar, Lord Nityananda, he goes to Jagai and Madhai. He wants to deliver them. Why? Because he wants everyone to know the glory of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wants everyone to know how great is the mercy of Mahaprabhu, that even these two fallen souls, Jagai and Madhai, can be delivered. So of course Lord Nityananda, the first time he went, he was not successful. Jagai and Madhai were drunk, they were drinking, and they saw these two personalities coming, and Nityananda is saying to them, Bolo, Bolo, chant the holy name, Bolo Krishna. And they were looking, huh? Huh? Who is this? You know, and they got their, and they wanted to beat them, and they chased them, and Lord Nityananda and Haridas had to run. And Haridas is a bit older, you know, he's saying, you know, please, please, you know, can't we go somewhere else to preach, you know? But Lord Nityananda has that mood. We have to deliver the fallen souls. And so even though the first time he's not successful, he does not give up. And he goes again. And the second time, they were not able to run away fast enough. And one of them hit Lord Nityananda on the head. And then Lord Chaitanya comes and he wants to kill them. Lord Chaitanya invoked the Sudarshan Chakra, and he was going to kill the two of them because they'd committed such a great offense to injure the body of Lord Nityananda. And Lord Chaitanya came, he was so furious with them, but Lord Nityananda fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya and begged him, no, my Lord, in this age you must be merciful. This is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the mood of Nityananda. You must be merciful to people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got Jagai and Madhai to promise that they would never again commit any sinful activity, and they would instead become devotees and take up devotional service. And the one who had hit Lord Nityananda, he was given the instruction, you can go to the Ghat of the Ganga. Jagai Madai Ghat is there, right? You can go there in Mayapur and see the Ghat there. And he said, you stay here, and when the Vaishnavas come, you can serve them. Take their cloth, fold their cloth up, give them massage, take care of them. Serve the Vaishnava, and in this way you can atone for what you have done. Serving the Vaishnavas. Another pastime with Lord Nityananda, where he gave mercy to the fallen souls, was it happened, Lord Nityananda was traveling with all of his devotees. He traveled with all, Sankirtan, they had a traveling party. Just like our devotees go traveling, you have buses. But Lord Nityananda, he was just going on foot and sometimes take a boat across the Ganga or something. So it happened, Lord Nityananda, one time they were traveling and there was a gang of thieves. And they saw Lord Nityananda with many ornaments. People used to come and give ornaments to him. And he had necklaces and bracelets and things. And the thieves were thinking, we will go there and we will steal all these ornaments from him. So the thieves were thinking like that. The first time they went there, they said, just wait till it gets a bit dark. And so they were waiting. They got near to the house where all the devotees were staying. They said, just wait till it gets dark. We will go in there and rob them, take everything. What happens was they lay down, and by the power of Yogamaya, they all fell asleep. And they didn't wake up until the next morning. And they woke up the next morning, and they woke up, it's already morning, we've missed the chance. We better go. If we go, we don't want people to see us. So they all left. They said, we'll come back another time. So they came back another time. Second time they came back, and I said, don't go to sleep this time. Let's stay awake. But when they got there, they saw there were these guards walking around the house, and they were gigantic. They were all huge built. And they had big tulsi beads around their neck and tilak, and they were carrying clubs, and they were walking backwards and forward in front of the building where the devotees were staying. And the thieves saw them. They thought, we can never go there now with these people there. They've got these guards. No, we better go home. So they went back. After some time, they came again. They said, let's try, let's see again. They came back the third time. This time, they said, let's go, we'll go. Quick, now is a good time. Nobody's here. We can go in and rob them. And just as they were going in, suddenly, the whole sky became dark. The sun was covered, everywhere became dark. And there was thunder and lightning, heavy thunder and big rain. Not just rain, there were lumps of ice falling from the sky. And the thieves were out there in that, and they couldn't see where they were going. And they fell in the pit where they kept the garbage. And they got bitten by snakes and scorpions. And they were suffering like anything. Some of them broke their bones, cracked their arms. They suffered so much. And then the leader of the thieves, he thought about this. He thought, this is just inconceivable that it happens like this. And he decided he had to go and surrender to Lord Nityananda. So he came in to see Lord Nityananda, and he confessed what he was trying to do. And he said, we were planning to rob you, but we cannot. We can see that you're protected by the grace of God. You have some power. So he said, I want to surrender to your lotus feet. So Lord Nityananda said, Yes, very good. I will accept you. He said, I want you now, go and preach. Make other thieves also devotees. Bring all the thieves and make them all devotees. He said, just like you were a thief and become a devotee, now you make other thieves also devotees. So in this way, Lord Nityananda was getting many followers, and he would get them and he would bring them to take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Nityananda, of course, his most well-known pastime took place at Panihati, which is very near to Kolkata. And Panihati is a place where Raghava Pandit stays. You can go to Panihati very easily, just a bus ride from here. And Raghava Pandit and his sister Damayanti, their home is there. The Raghava Pandit and his sister, they were both very good cooks. And they would cook very nice things. They would prepare many different sweets and namkins and savories and so many different dishes they would prepare. And then they would pack them all. And every year they'd go to Jagannath Puri, and they had a big sack, had many sacks, and they'd carry the sacks and give it to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya would be very happy to get their different preparations. So Lord Nityananda had come to Panihati with all of his devotees. Panihati is right on the bank of the Ganga. At one point Prabhupada went there. I had gone there that day with Prabhupada. We all went to Panihati, many devotees. And at one point somebody was planning to give land. Now we have land there. Now we have our own place there at Panihati. By the grace of Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj, he was able to purchase land there, and we have a nice temple. So anyway, Lord Nityananda had come there with his group of cowherd boys, the Kirtan party. You know, they'd all come there, and they were sitting on the banks of the Ganga at Panihati. And who should come there but Raghunath Das? So this Raghunath, he was from a very wealthy family. His father and his uncle, they were Haranya and Govardhan Majumdar. And they were very, very wealthy Vaishya people. And they were so wealthy, they maintained all the Brahmanas in Bengal. They were giving so much charity. They had so much income, they could give a lot of charity. So Raghunath was born in that family, and he was brought up in that kind of family, very wealthy, very opulent. But Raghunath, as a young man, he was hearing about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and about the Lord's pastimes. He had heard how Lord Chaitanya, for example, he had defeated Keshava Kashmiri, Digvijay. Keshava Kashmiri was traveling around debating, and Lord Chaitanya had defeated him as a young boy. And then Lord Chaitanya had led the disobedience movement against the Chankazi. The Chankazi had stopped Sankirtan and broke the Madanga. And Lord Chaitanya organized protest, and they got lakhs of people all came and took part to protest. And the Chankazi changed his mind and said, yes, you can all do Sankirtan now. So Lord Raghunath had been hearing about Lord Chaitanya's activities, and he'd heard how Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas and gone off to Jagannath Puri. And Raghunath wanted to leave home and join him and become a Hare Krishna devotee, right? Full time, right? He didn't want to be a part-time devotee. He wanted to be a full-time devotee. His parents had so much opulence, but he didn't care about it. And they had him married to a very sweet Bengali girl who was so nice and spoke only gentle words, you know, never nasty, you know. So Raghunath didn't care about this. He wanted to be a devotee. He wanted to leave all that and be with the Lord Chaitanya. So at one point he had come to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he had requested Lord Chaitanya, you know, I want to be a devotee. Lord Chaitanya told him, don't be a sahaja. Go home, behave like a normal person and keep Krishna in your heart. In course of time, you'll get the opportunity. So Raghunath had been given that instruction. Lord Chaitanya didn't say, yeah, come with me. Shave your head and I will take you with me. No. So go home. Behave like a normal person. Lord Chaitanya knew he was coming from a very wealthy family. He knew the family. So he sent him home. But now Raghunath has come to Panihati and Lord Nityananda has come. You have to understand the tattva, you see. If you go directly to Krishna without going through the spiritual master, does not work. That's not the process. You have to go through the devotee. You have to get the mercy of the Guru. Yasya prasad bhagavat prasado yasya prasado nagatikato. By the mercy of the spiritual master, you get the mercy of the Guru. Without the mercy of the spiritual master, there will only be havoc on the path of self-realization. So Raghunath Das, he had gone to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells him, go home. Now he's come to Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is Balaram, none different from Balaram. He is the Guru. And Lord Nityananda sees Raghunath. And he tells Raghunath, Raghunath has come. I'm going to punish you. All right? Lord Nityananda likes to punish people, you know. He said, your punishment, you have to put on a big feast for all the devotees. Haribo. So Raghunath, you know, he's a rich man. It's not a problem for him. He's very happy to hear that. And he begins to purchase everything. You know, Bengal, in the Chiradahi time, it's May, right? Very hot. Very hot. Not many vegetables that time, you know. So what do you get? You get a lot of bananas and mangoes and doodh and kheer. Huh? And shira. Shira. You get the shira. So he organized the Shira Dahi festival. He bought all the shira, all the dahi, all the doodh, all the malai, everything, all this nice thing, bananas, mangoes, and they had a nice offering on the side of the Ganga, big clay pots, filled it all up, offered it all, and Lord Chaitanya in his Avirbhav form appeared there in the program. Lord Nityananda was there with all the devotees, and Lord Chaitanya appeared in aprakat form. And they had big kirtan, and then they distributed prasadam to everyone. You know, like Shantipur festival, you know, people, you don't know where they're coming from, you know. There's so many people come. So same way Panihati, when they have Shiradahi festival, many people, big crowds, even today. So that time also, 500 years ago, Lord Nityananda is there, and Raghunath is buying everything. People are coming from far and wide. They all hear Raghunath's buying everything. So all the vendors came. They all bought, you buy my stuff, you can buy mine. And he purchased everything. And they had a big festival. And even the dogs got fed. Everybody enjoyed. Just like when we go parikrama, we have prasadam. After parikrama, there's always dogs. And they're very happy. They have a nice feast, you know, the remnants. So, Raghunath puts on a big feast, and Lord Nityananda is very happy with him. And Raghunath arranges, gives some money also for Lord Nityananda for his traveling, and give money for different devotees so that they can take care of themselves. And Lord Nityananda is very pleased with Raghunath, and he put his lotus feet on Raghunath's head. And he told Raghunath, very soon you will be freed from this materialistic life. So Raghunath went home. He went home and he's very happy. He pleased Lord Nityananda, and Lord Nityananda had blessed him that very soon you're going to get free. So Raghunath waited for the appropriate time, and it happened early one morning. Early one morning, the pujari didn't come, and he said, oh, I'll go and find him. And he went out, supposed to find the pujari, and he just left. He didn't come back. Right? He just didn't come home. And then they realized, where's Raghunath? He went to get the pujari. Why? He's been so long. Where did he go? And then they all went to look for him, and then they couldn't find him. And then he's run away again. And they went to look for him, and they looked everywhere, but Raghunath had been very careful this time. He didn't go on the usual road. He went on all the very village roads, little, by small paths, which nobody knows. And nobody could find him. So then they understood he is gone. He's gone off. He's ran away again. And he went and he got to Jagannath Puri, and Lord Chaitanya told him, when Lord Chaitanya saw him, he told Raghunath, he said, you're very lucky. He said, you were like an animal who had fallen in a pit for passing stool. He said that existence, that materialistic life of opulence is just like a pit where people go and pass stool. So you were living in that kind of terrible situation. Somehow you're very fortunate. You have got out. And so Raghunath had come to join Lord Chaitanya, and Raghunath was given to Swarup Damodar to take care of. He became known as Raghunath Swarup. And he would never speak to Lord Chaitanya. If he wanted to know anything, he would ask Swarup Damodar. So one day he asked Swarup Damodar about any instructions, and Lord Chaitanya gave the instruction. He told him, he said, never talk like an ordinary person, and never hear the gossip of ordinary people. Do not dress luxuriously, and do not eat opulently. But keep Radha and Krishna in your heart, and always chant the holy name. So these were the instructions Raghunath got from Lord Chaitanya, and by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, because he'd been to Panihati. And so every year, even now, we have Panihati festival. So Lord Nityananda performed many wonderful pastimes with Lord Chaitanya. At one point, Lord Chaitanya, when he took sannyas, Lord Nityananda was also accompanying him. And Lord Chaitanya had given his danda to Lord Nityananda to carry. So Lord Nityananda took the danda, he broke it into 3 and then threw it away. So after some time, Lord Chaitanya asked, "Where's my danda?" And Lord Nityananda said, he said, "Don't you remember? You were having kirtan, and when you were jumping, you landed on the danda and it broke. So we threw it away." Lord Chaitanya said, "What? Huh? I don't remember that." No, you were in ecstasy. We were having kirtan. So Lord Chaitanya was not very pleased. Actually, Lord Nityananda, he knows, of course, Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he doesn't need a danda. But some people say, well, he broke it in 3. He was making his ekadanda into a tridanda. Vaishnavas, they have tridandis. They're tridandis. Mayavadi sannyasis, they're ekadanda. So some people say that's why Lord Nityananda broke it. But other people say, well, no, he just understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord and he doesn't need any of these kind of designations. So Lord Nityananda, he would do these kind of things. Lord Chaitanya requested Lord Nityananda, "I want you to go to Bengal." Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, "I have taken sannyas. Now it is not so convenient, very easy for me to go to Bengal. It should not go, to the home, because he's taken sannyas, so he should not go home." So he said, "I want you, on my behalf, you go to Bengal and you stay there and preach." And he told Lord Nityananda, he said, "You don't need to come here every year to Puri." He said, "You just stay there in Bengal and preach." But Lord Nityananda, still he would come, because he cannot bear to live without the separation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Nityananda, his mood is always the servant of Lord Chaitanya. He wants like that. This, the whole mood of all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya's mood also is to be the servant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in the mood of the servant. Lord Nityananda is the servant. Advaita Acharya, he's the servant. They're all Vishnu, but they want to be the servant. They come in that mood to be the servant of the Lord, to be the servant of the devotees. This is the mood of Lord Nityananda. And this, he's teaching, he's giving us these instructions. He is the spiritual master. So we are learning from his wonderful example. We want to also have that mood of Lord Nityananda to distribute Krishna consciousness to all the fallen souls, without considering who's qualified and who's not. Go everywhere and distribute the holy name. So today, very auspicious day, so we're praying for the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Are there any questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have one question, Maharaj. Maharaj, as you told in the class that we should preach without considering who is qualified, who is not qualified, and we should be compassionate like Nityananda Prabhu. So when we are going for preaching, so we don't feel that much compassion to others, or we preach seeing who is qualified or who is not qualified. So, so my question is that when we are preaching, so how we should cultivate the quality of Nityananda Prabhu as a preacher?
Okay. So this is very important for us, that we have to have that compassion. You see, you don't have that compassion. We have to have that compassion. You have to develop that compassion. That is the mood of the Vaishnava. We're compassion. Every day we offer our obeisances when we offer Vaishnava pranams. We offer obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desired trees, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. So we have to cultivate that compassionate mood. We have to actually think deeply about it, to have compassion and to develop that caring mood. It's very, very important for us as devotees that we care about people. Just the fact that you're going out there shows some compassion. You may not directly say that you're feeling compassionate, but the fact that you're going out there, it indicates that you do have some feeling. You do have some kind of compassion. Otherwise, you wouldn't go. So it's very important for all of us in our practice of devotional service that we do have that compassionate mood, caring about others. Right? Srila Prabhupada did not go to the West without compassion. He had that caring mood. He was very much concerned about others. He was always caring about the devotees. If he saw any infection or any sign of bad health on the devotee, he'd have them take care of it. Sometimes he would personally instruct them how to take care of it. I know Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, he was very caring about devotees. Anybody who had any problem, they could go to Bhakti Charu Swami and he would do what he could to try to help them. So that caring mood is very important for us as devotees. And we do have to, even if you don't feel it, you should try to feel it more, and you should try to make greater efforts to give yourself to others, to help others, to show your care and concern for them. Right. We want to be known as a caring society, right? This is actually our business, to care about others and help them to come back, to regain their Krishna consciousness. So we do try to give people some care by giving the holy name. Early this morning, the devotees went on Sankirtan, did some Harinam. That is also caring, giving the holy name. Let devotees hear the holy name. It's very powerful, it's very purifying for them. People who don't care, they won't go on Sankirtan. They won't chant the holy name. They won't distribute prasadam. They only care about themselves. So we do have to develop this caring mood. There are a lot of people who need care. And you can see people like Mother Teresa, how she got so much attention because of her care, because she cared about people. Of course, you know, we're not quite, our intentions is not just only welfare program, but spiritual welfare. We care about their spiritual position. We want to bring them out of the ignorance of material life and make them aware of their actual duty in the human body. Now we have the human body. We're meant to use it to cultivate God consciousness. Yes, Prabhu? Yeah, you have a question? Please, yes? You have a microphone for Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, my question is that as you have said that Nityananda Prabhu, that he is our Adi Guru, so he tastes many devotees, just like Shivasnanda, that how he can tolerate his situation. That similarly, when we live with so many devotees with us, we live or we stay with them. So sometimes it happens that we cannot tolerate that my partner, maybe we cannot tolerate something, but we should tolerate there. But sometimes it happens that we cannot tolerate. So how can we develop this tolerance and provoking situations or tolerance?
Yes, how can we become more tolerant? Well, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, mainly by practice of devotional service. Just by practicing devotional, by engaging in sadhana bhakti, we will develop the tolerance. Yeah? Just by being here in the temple, and just like you tolerate, you're sitting on the floor, sitting there, sitting here, listening to me for so long, you tolerate, you know? So you develop that tolerance. Yeah, that's tolerance, you see? So tolerance, gradually it develops. We get trained in tolerance. You know, we get trained to wake up in the morning, get trained to come to Mangal Arti. We get trained to eat prasadam properly, you know. Don't use left hand, just eat with the right hand, you know. These kind of things we learn. So tolerance is there by association, training, get good instruction from others, you know. So a devotee should be tolerant, and we should understand if we're not tolerant, we have to cultivate that quality of tolerance. We need to become tolerant. Srila Prabhupada gives an example about taking bath. Now in the mornings, it's cold in the morning, so people may feel, oh, it's too cold to take bath. But if you're going to do puja, you have to take bath. Right? You have to take bath, even though it's a bit colder. And similarly, in the summer, to cook in the kitchen in the summer is not very pleasant. But still, you know, deities have to be served, maybe the family have to be served, you have to cook. You have to go and cook, even though it's not very easy. So tolerance is there, training. So the same way, we have to learn to tolerate happiness and distress. Actually, what is happiness and distress are very relative things. what we don't like, somebody else may like. You don't like it, somebody else likes it. Just like I said, Lord Nityananda kicked Shivananda Sen. I don't like somebody, he better not kick me. If he kicks me, I'll kick him back, we have to tolerate. Lord Shivananda Sen thought, oh, I'm blessed. Thank you so much. You have purified me. The dust from your lotus feet is a blessing on my body. So tolerance. We hear about these great devotees, how they tolerate. And we should become inspired. I should become like that. Follow the example, We hear about how these devotees were so tolerant. We should also become tolerant. Initially, we're not very tolerant, but with time, you can become tolerant. You have to practice. You have to endeavor. You have to. So you hear about these things, and then gradually, okay, if this is what I'm supposed to do, then I have to do it. So tolerance, very important quality. If you can't tolerate, then how will you represent the Krishna consciousness movement? No, you want to be a devotee, you must have the ornaments of the devotee. The ornaments of the devotee. So Lord Kapila describes the ornaments of the devotee. Titikshava karunika suridam sarvadehinam. In third canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila was describing to his mother Devahuti, because he told his mother Devahuti, you have to take shelter of a devotee. You have to take shelter of a devotee. So then he went on to tell her how to recognize a devotee. And he told her the ornaments of a devotee. Titikshava karunika suridam sarvadehinam ajata satravan shantu sadhava sadhubhushana. Sadhubhushana, the ornaments of a sadhu. And the first thing he mentions, titikshava, tolerance. You must be tolerant, very important quality of the devotee. The very first quality he mentions, titikshava. Yeah, we have to learn to tolerate. And devotional service is training us in tolerance. Right? Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, okay, Prabhu. Yes, you have a question? Yes, go ahead, yeah. Have you got the mic? Where's the mic?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Dandavat Pranam. As you told that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Srivas Thakur, they all have the mood of servant. But we are followers of them, but we are practicing Krishna consciousness, but we don't feel the mood of servant. So how can we develop the mood of servant like them?
How to develop the mood of servant? But I think you are developing the mood of servant just by sitting there. That's the mood of the servant. And when we open the deities, we bow to the deities, that's the mood of servant. You join in the kirtan, that's also service. And you eat prasadam, it's all service. Right? How can you say you don't have the mood of servant? No, you're doing service. It's all service here. You come here and it's all service. Everyone takes part in service. We come here, we see the deity, we offer flowers. It's a service. Yeah, of course there's more service. There's always more service, but you're doing service. Just by being here, just by taking part in the program, attending the activities, you're taking part, you're doing service. We don't realize it, but actually it's a fact. that you're doing service. This is how we were all tricked into Krishna consciousness. We didn't realize, We thought, well, I like the prasadam. We didn't think I'm the servant, But gradually that realization comes, that we honor prasadam and we chant Hare Krishna. It's all service, but it's like recreation. It's just, Prabhupada said, chanting, dancing and feasting, this is a movement of recreation only. It's all enjoyment, all pleasure, right? You don't even know, you're saying you don't have the mood of service, but it's all service here. You're doing so much service. You're hearing, that's also service. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Sri Nityananda Trayodashi Mahamahotsava ki. Nityananda Ram ki.
Hare Krishna. আপনাদের সবার কেমন লাগলো মহারাজের ক্লাস? আপনারা আরো শুনতে চান? তো আপনাদের সবার জন্য সুখবর রয়েছে। তো মহারাজ আজকে নিত্যানন্দ কথা করলেন।
এই নিত্যানন্দ মহাপ্রভু কথা চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত চৈতন্য ভাগবত থেকে কন্টিনিউ হবে কালকেও। তো কালকে সকালে শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতম ক্লাস 8টা থেকে, এবং মহারাজ কালকে সকালে নিত্যানন্দপুর কথা, নিত্যানন্দপুর 5 টাইম, নিত্যানন্দপুর করুণা, তিনি আমাদের সেই চৈতন্য লীলায় নিত্যানন্দপুর লীলায় নিয়ে যাবেন কালকে সকালেও, এবং আপনাদের সবাইকে কালকে সকালে ভাগবতম ক্লাসের জন্য আপনাদের সবাইকে আমন্ত্রণ রইল। হরি বল। তো এখন একটি বিশেষ ঘোষণা রয়েছে। তো এই ঘোষণা ঠিক পরে আপনাদের জন্য খুব সুন্দর বিশেষ নাটক, খুব বিশেষ নাটক, নিত্যানন্দপুর বিশেষ লীলার উপর নাটক প্রস্তুত করবেন আমাদের বলদেব ভক্তিবৃক্ষের ভক্তবৃন্দরা। খুব সুন্দর ড্রামা রয়েছে, আপনারা কি দেখবেন না পালিয়ে যাবেন? ওকে, তো আশা করি আপনারা সবাই নিত্যানন্দপুর লীলা দেখবেন। তো সেই ড্রামার আগে আমাদের বিশেষ ঘোষণা। তো ঘোষণা হচ্ছে যে আপনাদের এই মহারাজের नित्यानंदपुर কথা কেমন লাগলো? कैसा लगा आप सबको? तो आप सब लोग नित्यानंदपुर की कृपा प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं? तो आज आपके लिए विशेष मौका है, आप सबके लिए विशेष मौका है कि नित्यानंदपुर की कृपा आज आप प्राप्त कर सकते हैं महाराज के हाथ से। कैसे प्राप्त करेंगे? कौन कौन प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं? कारा कारा नित्यानंदपुर कृपा নিতে চান? তাই নিত্যানন্দপুর লীলা যিনি রচনা করেছেন তিনি হচ্ছেন নিত্যানন্দপুর শিষ্য। তিনি কে? কৃষ্ণদাস কবিরাজ গোস্বামী এবং বৃন্দাবন দাস ঠাকুর। তারা নিত্যানন্দপুর শিষ্য, এবং তারা নিত্যানন্দপুর লীলা নিত্যানন্দপুর 5 টাইম চৈতন্য মহাপ্রভুর সঙ্গে সেটা বর্ণনা করেছেন চৈতন্য চরিতামৃতে। আর সেই চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত আজকে নিত্যানন্দ প্রভুর আবির্ভাব তিথিতে মহারাজের হাত থেকে পেতে পারেন। হরি বল। তো আমাদের কাছে অল্প কিছু কপি আছে, যারা আগে হাত তুলবে তাদেরকে আমরা দেব, ঠিক আছে? যারা আগে হাত তুলবে, ওখানে দুজন হাত তুলেছে, 1 2 3 হাত তুলে রাখবেন, ঠিক আছে? ওকে, তো চৈতন্য চরিতামৃতের স্পেশাল অফার রয়েছে আজকে। তো চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত হচ্ছে বাংলা চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত হচ্ছে মাত্র 2700 টাকা 4 ভলিউম, আর হচ্ছে ইংলিশ চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত, ইংলিশ এবং হিন্দি চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত মাত্র 4500 টাকা, ঠিক আছে? ইংলিশ আচ্ছা, ইংলিশ ডিসকাউন্ট দিচ্ছে ওরা। তো ইংলিশ হচ্ছে 4000 টাকা, হিন্দি 4500 আর বাংলা হচ্ছে 2700। ওকে, রেডি? হ্যাঁ, তো যারা প্রথমে হাত তুলবে তাদেরকে আমরা আগে দেব। ওকে, তো আমাদের কাছে এখানে চৈতন্য চৈতামৃত বাংলা আছে। ওকে, তো কারা সংগ্রহ করতে চান হাত তুলুন। যারা মহারাজের হাত থেকে নিতে চান আজকের দিনে নিত্যানন্দ প্রভুর কৃপা, যারা আজকে সংগ্রহ করতে চান নিত্যানন্দ প্রভুর কৃপা, এখানে আপনারা আমাদের বুক ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন ডিপার্টমেন্ট আছে, ওনাদের কাছে আপনারা পেমেন্ট করতে পারেন এবং মহারাজের হাত থেকে নিতে পারেন। ओके माताजी, जे कोनो लैंग्वेज, कोई भी लैंग्वेज में ले सकते हैं, बंगाली, हिंदी, इंग्लिश। तो बंगाली बांग्ला भाषाয় চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত 2700, ইংরাজিতে 4000 আর হিন্দিতে 4500। ঠিক আছে, যে নিতে চান চলে আসুন এদিকে। कोई लेना चाहते हैं नित्यानंद प्रभु की कृपा आज के दिन? इस तरफ অনলাইন পেমেন্ট করতে পারেন অথবা আপনি চাইলে ইনস্টলমেন্টও দিতে পারেন, দুটো ইনস্টলমেন্টে দিতে পারেন। মাতাজিরা যারা হাত তুলেছিলেন, প্রভুরা, एक इधर यूथ लोग कोई लेना चाहते हैं? ओके, बेंगली একজন আসুন। হরি বল। কি নাম আপনার? হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল। প্রবেশ পরেশ চন্দ্র মাইতি জি, উনি চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত নিচ্ছেন মহারাজের হাত থেকে। হরি বল। হরি বল। আর কে নিতে চান মহারাজের হাত থেকে? আপনারা চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত শুনেছেন কিন্তু হয়তো কালকেই ভুলে যাবেন, কিন্তু আপনার কাছে যদি চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত থাকে তাহলে আপনি প্রতিদিন চৈতন্য महाप्रभु नित्यानंद प्रभु कृपा लाभ करते पारबेन। और कोई लेना चाहते हैं माताजियों में? माताजीদের মধ্যে কেউ? প্রভুদের মধ্যে? हमारे यूथ लोग? और कोई? और कोई लेना चाहते हैं? ঠিক আছে, আমরা ধন্যবাদ জানাবো মহারাজকে। We thank Maharaj for his wonderful class and the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu showing to all of us. So we'll thank Maharaj by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. His Holiness Bhakti Vighna Vinasa Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki, Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki। তো এখন আপনাদের জন্য ড্রামা পরিবেশন করবেন বলদেব ভক্তির বৃক্ষের ভক্তরা।